Hi CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to do this really cool 3D flower granny square. So these are all petals working around your granny square, okay? So this is great fun, super easy. If you know how to do a half double crochet, you can do this. The only tricky thing is you're going to be turning your work a lot, so you will need some stitch markers and things like that, but yeah, great fun. So let's get into the materials. So for today, I'm using a 5mm hook or a H hook, as you can see here. I'm using some stitch markers. I use yarn for stitch markers, but you can use the little plastic stitch markers, anything you want to use. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors of yarn, and then I have a color that I'm going to be using for my border that goes around that's going to be for every one of them, okay? So that they match up. And you can use any kind of yarn you want to. Stash yarn is great for this project. Within this, there is a little bit of different size. This is like a size 3, and these are all 4 weight. So you can, mess them up a little bit, but you do want to try to stay similar in the sizes of your yarn. Okay, you will need a pair of scissors and a darning needle to work in your ends. You can work your ends as you go if you're a real tidy person, or you can just let them go and do them all at the end, but there will be some ends to work in because you're changing colors. Now, if you don't want to change colors, you don't have to. You could do this all in one solid. It would still be beautiful, and I'll show you how to do that, okay? So let's get into the tutorial. We're going to start with a magic circle for this project. We're going to chain 2. So chain 2, and then into the magic circle, you're going to put 3 half double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And that first chain of 2 does count as a half double crochet. So now you're going to chain 2, and you're going to turn your work, which is a little odd when you still have this much of a magic circle left. But just go with it, trust the process, it's all going to work out, okay? So chain 2, turn your work, and then you're going to put a half double crochet in this first stitch right here. And then you're going to put a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and don't forget this last one, this chain of 2 that you did, you need to get into the top of that and do a half double crochet as well. So technically you have 4 across, okay? Then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to turn your work again, okay? Now this chain of 4 is going to go behind this work, okay? So now you can move that over if you want to, and now you're going to go right back into the magic circle and start working another petal. This counted as our first one, okay? So you're not going to slip stitch, you're not going to chain, you're just going to go right into making more stitches, okay? And as you do this, this chain of 4 will fall behind this petal. So again, I'm going to yarn over, go back into my magic circle, and I'm going to work a half double crochet. So there's 1, and I'm going to do 3 more. There's 2, and there's 3. Okay, and so we need 1 more, and that's 4 half double crochets, okay? And then you're going to chain 2, you're going to turn your work, and again, you're going to do a half double crochet in each of these 4 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, and don't forget this last one, 4. And it almost looks like that's a part of the chain, but it's not. So just try to pay attention to that. And then you will chain 4, 2, 3, and 4, and you will turn your work again, and you will repeat. So it's a little funny in this first round because, you're working into the magic circle. You don't have a lot to hold on to here. But once you get this done, it just goes really smoothly. So again, we've made our second petal. But let's do this one more time. We're going to go right into the magic circle. We're going to make 4 half double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then you're going to chain 2, you're going to turn your work, and you're going to work 4 half double crochets across. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to go back into your magic circle again, and you're going to work another petal. So let's just do this one more time. So yarn over, go into the magic circle, pull up, do a half double crochet, and then you want 3 more of those for a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3. Then you will chain 2, turn your work, put a half double crochet in each one of these 4 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then into the 4th, okay? Then you will chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, turn your work again, push this petal over, and then you're going to go right back into the magic circle again. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. We need 4 more for a total of 8. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you for a second, and you work the rest of those 4 petals, and then we'll meet back up again, and I'll show you how to close off this round. Okay, so I'm on my last petal here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is my 8th, and I just worked my chain of 4 and turned my work. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch to this first chain that we did when we did that chain of 2. We're going to slip stitch right into the top of that chain of 2. Might be a little difficult to find, but that's what you're going to do, and you're going to do that for every round, okay? And so now what you can do is you can pull this magic circle really tight in the back. If you had a little left over in the middle, don't worry about it, okay? So it's going to look kind of messy, but it's really cool. We're going to be working into these chain 4s in the back now. I'm going to go ahead and cut off, okay? Because I'm going to bring in another color. But if you did not want to bring in another color and you wanted to keep going, you could chain 1 and then slip stitch into this chain of 4 right here. And right here in this chain of 4, you would start doing a corner and then go on, okay? But I'm going to change color, so it's going to be a little different. But if you want to keep going, just keep doing that for every round, okay? But I'm just going to tie off and pull in right there. And I'm going to bring in this pink that I've got. I'm going to find any chain of 4 from the back. Doesn't matter where, just any chain of 4 here. And you're going to bring in this pink. And you're going to work 2 of the petals that I've already taught you how to make. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 2. Then we're going to go back into our stitch, our chain of 4. And we're going to do 3 more half double crochets because the chain of 2 counted as 1. So there's technically 4 half double crochets. Then you're going to chain 2. You're going to turn your work into this first stitch. You're going to put a half double crochet. Into the next stitch, you're going to put a half double crochet. Into the next stitch, you're going to put a half double crochet. And into the next stitch, you're going to put a half double crochet. So you've half double crocheted 4 across, okay? Then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to turn your work, and into this same chain of 4, you're going to put another petal because this is a corner, so you need 2 of them. So just like you're working a granny square. So we're going to go right back into this chain of 4, and we're going to work another petal. So we're going to do a half double crochet, and then we're going to do 3 more half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, so that we have 4. Then we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and then we're going to work 4 half double crochets across. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that fourth one can be hard to get into. Okay, then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to turn your work, and now we have 2 of these here. So before we go into our next chain of 4 space, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and mark this corner. Because of all these petals and because it gets a little topsy-turvy, it can be kind of hard to find your corner. So I'm just going to go right into the actual chain 4 space itself, into one of those chains, and I'm going to put my piece of yarn as my stitch marker there, okay? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my next chain of 4, and I'm just going to put 1 petal. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the chain of 4, and I'm going to put 4 half double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to turn my work. And then I'm going to put a half double crochet in each stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to turn my work. Okay, so there we had 2 petals in this chain 4 space, then we have 1 petal, then we're going to go into our next chain 4 space and we're going to do 2 petals because this is another corner. So I'm going to go directly into that chain 4 space and I'm going to work 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and work a half double crochet in each stitch across. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to turn my work, and in that same space I'm going to put 1 more petal because this is a corner. So I'm going to yarn over, go right into my chain 4 space, and I'm going to put 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to chain 2, turn my work. I'm going to work a double crochet, a half double crochet across. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm going to turn my work. And into my next chain 4 space, I will put 1 petal. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark my corner here. So I'm going to take my stitch marker, I'm going to go right into one of these chains here and place my stitch marker so I know that this is a corner. Then I'm going to go into my next chain 4 space and I'm going to work 1 petal. So I want you to keep doing that until you have 4 sides, okay? And when we get to our last petal, make sure you keep marking them with your stitch markers. And when we get the last petal, I'll show you how to close off and how to keep going. So I'll see you back in just a second. Okay, so we're on our last petal now and I've chained 4. And so now we need to go right into here and we're going to put a half double crochet. And then we're going to do 3 more for a total of 4. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and do 4 double crochets across. So there's half double crochets. There's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. And then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to turn your work, okay? So now let's look at what we've got here. And it looks a little bit of a mess, but we've got our 4 corners here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that we have marked off, and we know that those are our corners. And now we've got to close up this round, and we're going to do just like we did before. We're going to go up to our first half double crochet chain of 2 that we did, and we're going to go right into the top of that chain of 2, and we're going to make a slip stitch. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch right there, and now we can cut off, and we're going to change colors again. Remember, if you're not changing colors, just go to your chain 1 and go to your first chain of 4 space and put a slip stitch. Okay, and then start with a corner. So now we've got all of this done here. We've got a bunch of ends we need to work in, but what we're going to do is bring in this other color. Okay, and I'm going to start in a corner. I just think it would be easier that way. So right here where I have this marked, we've got our stitch marker here. I'm going to pull that stitch marker out, and I'm going to bring in my other color. And I know this is a corner, so I know I need to put 2 petals here. So I'm going to chain up 2, and I'm going to bring 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So that means we have 4. So then we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and do 4 half double crochets across, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And remember that this last one can be hard to work into, but don't forget it. And then you want to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to turn your work back around, okay? And into this corner, we're going to put 1 more petal, okay? So you're going to yarn over, go right into this stitch, and do a half double crochet, and then you're going to do 3 more for a total of 4. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to chain 2, turn your work, do 4 half double crochets across, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to chain 4, and you're going to turn your work. And now you have a corner done. So we're going to put our stitch marker right back here. Right into this chain, I'm going to put my stitch marker back, just to let me know that that's a corner, okay? And then I would go into my next spot, right here, my chain of 4 space, and I would just do 1 petal. 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets, chain 2, turn your work, do 4 half double crochets across, 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 4, and then go into my next space and work another 1 petal. And then I would be back to a corner, and then I would work 2. So now you see how this has worked. It's really easy, just like a granny square, except you're doing petals. So I would just keep going till I got to my corner, then I would put 2, then I would do 1 and 1 petal, and then back to 2 and 1 and 1 and back to 2. And then when I came back around, I would have an extra 1 to do there as well, just like a granny square. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this round real quick, and then I'm going to show you how to put the ends on. Put on the edging for it, okay? So I'll be right back in just a minute. I finished my 3rd row here, and now we're going to go on and do edging like you see right here around the side. I want to show you how to do that, but I just wanted to show you too that this right here is a 9-inch square. This here is let me go over here, is around a 5-inch square, okay? So you could finish at this one and do your edging. You can make it as big or as small as you want. Just know that if you go much more than probably like 7 with these half double crochet petals, it might start to turn or lean a little bit. So you might want to just keep that in mind as you're making these. But yeah, you could go bigger, you could go smaller, whatever you want to do. So I did 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got 3 here, okay? So if you want to do it exactly like I did it, you want to do 2 more rounds, and then you want to do your edging. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to do the edging. It's the same for when it's bigger, for when it's smaller. It's exactly the same, just some more stitches. So I'm going to bring in my edging color. I'm going to come right over here to where my corner is. I'm going to pull out my stitch marker, and I'm going to go right in here and bring in this color. And then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do 3 more double crochets because that chain of 3 counted as my first. So 1, 2, and 3. So technically we have 4. Then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then we're going to go right into our next chain 4 space, and we're going to do 4 half double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to go right into my next chain 4 space, and I'm going to put 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to go into my next chain 4 space, and I'm going to put 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm at my corner, and so I'm going to pull out this stitch marker, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets right into this, 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4 double crochets. And then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then again, around the top here in each one of these chain 4 spaces, I'm going to do 4 half double crochets. So that's what it looks like right here. You're going to keep doing that all the way around until you get to your first chain 3 space, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain of 3. So that's all it is for the edging around it. And then if it looks a little bit topsy-turvy on you, I really didn't, it looks pretty straight to me. There might be a little bump or 2 here or there, but if there is, don't worry, because when you go to join these, that's going to go away all together. Now, if for some reason you're just doing this as a motif, or you don't want to have to worry about joining any of them together, you're just going to use it as one whole, or you're making a bag or something, you could do 1 more round of the edging around here, but then you would do double crochet. So you would start in your corner right here, and you would do 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets, and then you would do your double crochets across. So that would bring it in a square a little bit more. If you don't want to join anything, you can do that, okay? But like I said, if it's a little wonky at all, it'll work out perfectly when you join them all, and it just turns out absolutely lovely. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notify me bell below. Sharing these videos helps more than anything, and I really appreciate it. To your friends, to Facebook, any of those places, it really helps. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You can comment below on YouTube, of course, and ask me anything you want. But if you don't want to do that, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I have a Gmail. And please go visit those places and give me a like on there as well. Thanks so much. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.